Hey everyone, welcome to Zenny 62 for Tuesday night, August 7th. That's right, Tuesday night, August 7th, 2018, from Georgia, not in Oakland. The Oakland Raiders, under John Gruden, officially kicked off the John Gruden era this week when they rolled out the first depth chart. The first depth chart of this young NFL season. The John Gruden era is as much expressed in who starts as it is scheme or scowl. Welcome to Zenny 62, a Bible study. How are you? I'm going to read off the depth chart as you all come into the room. And here it goes. I'm just going to read them to you. I'm not going to turn the camera around and point it down because sometimes it might make you a little dizzy. I'm just going to read. And we're going to start with wide receiver. First team, Jordy Nelson. Second team, Seth Roberts. Third team, Isaac Whitney and Keon Hatcher. Fourth team, otherwise known as Other, Marcel Aitman and Saeed Blacknail. Left tackle, Colton Miller is penciled in as the starter, not even waiting for Donald Penn. Colton Miller followed by David Sharp. I think that's a big ouch. Third is Dylan Ware, and then Other is Donald Penn. Left guard, Kelechi Osemele. Second team, John Feliciano. Third team, Jordan Simmons. Other, blank. Rodney Hudson, starting center. Second team, James Stone. Third team, Cameron Hunt. For Other, nothing. Right guard, the venerable Gabe Jackson. Ode Abashi is second team, and then Denver Kirkland is third team. Hey, Cowboy Wrestling, everybody, how are you? Right guard, Bruno Giancamini, first team. Second team, Brandon Parker. Third team, Ian Silberman. Tight end, of course, Jared Cook, starter. Followed by Lee Smith. And then third team, Derek Carrier, Marcus Bow, and then Other, Farrell Brown, and Paul Butler. And then wide receiver, or if you like, you can think of the wide receiver. In this case, the person I'm about to mention is actually the flanker. I would list the person as the flanker, but that's me. Amari Cooper's first team. Martavis Bryant, second team, which would mean he would be the slot receiver in a 3 wide receiver offense. Third team is Ryan Switzer and Johnny Holton. Fourth team is Dwayne Harris and Griff Wallen. Now we come to quarterback. And we have a bit of a shakeup here. We have Derek Carr as the starter, but we have Connor Cook. That's right, Connor Cook is the second team player. Connor Cook has leaped over E.J. Manuel. I repeat, Connor Cook has leaped over E.J. Manuel. He is the second teamer. That's a big statement. E.J. Manuel is third team. There is no fourth team. That's something else. That says, I'm not sure what that says. I'm not sure it says more about Connor Cook being more adaptive to this West Coast offense, as I suspected he would be, or E.J. Manuel not performing as well in it as I didn't expect. Okay? So then we have Keith Smith, fullback. Running back, we have, as you would expect, Marshawn Lynch, followed by Doug Martin in second team. Third team is Jalen Richard, Chris Warren. Fourth team is DeAndre Washington and James Butler. You know, outside of Marshawn Lynch, I have to tell you, I view this running back group as weak. Fullback, 2 names. Keith Smith, first team, and Ryan Urachek, second team. That's it. Defense. Hold on to your butts, folks, for what I'm about to tell you. or read to you. In fact, let me get a swig of water. Defensive end. First, Tank Carradine. Second team, Fadol Brown. Third team, Frosty Rucker. Defensive tackle, Mario Edwards Jr. in the 4. I like that. Second, behind him, the rookie P.J. Hall. That's going to be an effective position, you know. Third team behind P.J. Hall is Trayvon Hester. And then other, way out there, is Eddie Vanderdoes. Wow, what a come down from last year. How about that? Wow. Defensive tackle, Justin Ellis is, it's got to be an injury issue. Defensive tackle, Justin Ellis is first team. Second team is Maurice Hurst. So you have P.J. Hall and Maurice Hurst as the second teamers. Third team is Atibia Rubin. And then fourth team, Shakir Soto. Defensive end, Bruce Irvin starting. Arden Key backing him up. Shaquille Calhoun. Other, they don't even list Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is not even on the depth chart. I repeat, Khalil Mack is not on the depth chart. They're not holding a space for him. They're not saying, hey, we're going to pinch you in here. Nothing. Wow. That's hardball. I mean, you know, Khalil Mack's got to look at this and think, really? But hey, I'll continue. Strong side linebacker, Emmanuel Lemire is the starter. Kyle Webber is the second teamer. And James Cowser's third. Middle linebacker, Derek Johnson. Followed by Markel Lee. And then Jason Kabita. And weak side linebacker, Tahir Whitehead. Followed by, that's the first team, followed by Nicholas Moreau. And then Azim Victor. Cornerback. Starting Rashad Melvin, backing him up, Leon Hall. And then we have in third string, Sharice Wright, and Steven Mitchell. And then the other area is taken by Antonio Hamilton and Raysean Pringle. Hey, Barry Lee, if you're there, please tweet this out under hashtag Raiders. Thank you. Hashtag Raiders, hashtag NFL. Thank you. Starter, cornerback, Garyon Conley, even with his injury. Then Daryl Worley is his backup. Nick Nelson is behind him, and then Dexter McDonald. Then at safety, we have Marcus Gilchrist as a starter, backed up by Reggie Nelson, and then third team Shalom Luiani, and then fourth team Dolan Levitt. For the other safety position, which is strong, we have Carl Joseph, backed up by Eric Harris, and then in the third, Obi Melifuanu, which has got to be a disappointment. Got to be a disappointment. Special teams, punters Johnny Townsend, kicker is Eddie Pinero, and then second is Mike Nugent. Then of course we have Johnny Townsend, and we have Andrew Paloa as left safety, Drew Scott, and then punt returner we have Dwayne Harris, backed by Wyatt Switzer. Fourth is Griff Whalen, and others Nick Nelson. And then kick returner, we have basically the same group, the same quartet right now, and that lines up the depth chart as it goes. So I will go back and say hello. Cowboy Russia says, I heard and correct. If I'm wrong, that Raiders will be open to trading Mack. It looks like he is, and people are putting out these signals that the Raiders are ready to move on from Mack and pencil in Arden Key. So we have these headlines. Arden Key blows by, I believe it was, who did he blow by in camp? Actually, I think he blew by none other than Kalichi Al-Asimile. Yeah, blew by Al-Asimile in practice, okay? Which means that if Osamele is at guard and Arden Key is at linebacker, he blitzed outside and sounds like Arden Key came out to kick out to get him and missed. Or he came inside and just ran right by him, which is probably more likely. Start from the inside, outside, come inside, whatever. He blew right by him. It was a headline, and my first thought was, well, they're trying to tell us that Arden Key can be the next Khalil Mack? O'day. Right. Okay. You know, the neat thing about the start of the season is that everybody is 0-0 and everybody's crap smells great. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looks like a star. Everybody's going to make it happen. Every team is going to just, you know, go to the Super Bowl, okay? Rob Iman asks, who will win the backup QB job this season? Well, I think Connor Cook has already won it, okay? That's what it looks like right now. Connor Cook is penciled in as the second guy. And when John does that, it's generally because the third guy, in this case E.J. Manuel, is not picking up a technique. And he's not rising to the level of play from a technical football standpoint that John wants to see. And what I mean by that is this. I don't mean technical like footwork. I mean technical like knowledge of what play runs out of what formation, basic concepts that are in each play, executing the play with respect to those concepts. That's very important to John. You know, he wants basically you to think like he does out there on the field, and how he thinks is a technical term. Now, how he thinks is far different from the question whether or not he could execute it himself. Okay, but that's another story. But my point is that he thinks in that term. He wants you to be able to do that. Designing a top-flight passing game has never been John Gruden's strong suit. I'll repeat. Designing a top-flight passing game has never been John Gruden's strong suit. The Raiders' best passing year came after he left. Okay? So I'm not expecting him to be... In fact, you know what? I really don't know what to expect this time. I'm quite excited for this Friday. As far as I'm concerned, this is John Gruden, 2.0, right? But to me, John Gruden has to show that he understands the modern passing game of the NFL, and that modern passing game has adjustable routes. It's flexible. It's mixed in with a run. It's done with a no huddle. It allows for precision. It must be done with respect to precision passing more than anything. That jury is out, and it really is. Cowboy Russia says some outlets online are reporting that the Packers and the Colts are potential trade spots for Mack. All I have to say is that the Raiders better hope that Khalil Mack doesn't engineer his way back into the AFC West. Okay, who's to say that someone trades him, does a sign-in trade, right? Hey, Barry Lee, how you doing? In other words, they sign him, and then another team in the AFC West really wants him, and so that team double trades him. Okay, that would be sneaky. That would be sneaky stuff. But who's to say that wouldn't happen? So let's speculate. Suppose, of all the teams, for some particular reason, I think the organization most likely to go after him would be the LA Chargers. If the LA Chargers get Khalil Mack, you can forget about the Raiders winning the AFC West. That would be a minor miracle, all right? It just would be. You can forget it. You can just forget it. If the Broncos got him with their pass rushing defense, I think he would be, that too would be a disastrous development. In fact, you know what? any team in the AFC West would give the Raiders fits. Let's say the Chiefs got him. Can you imagine the Chiefs getting Khalil Mack? Can you imagine that? That's the scenario the Raiders introduced for themselves. All right? Ms. Zeitgeist asked a great question. Ms. Zeitgeist asks, why would they, being the Oakland Raiders, trade Khalil Mack when defense is their biggest weakness? Well, Ms. Zeitgeist, your question implies that the Raiders are really logical and they think that way, as opposed to being upset over something that Mr. Mack and or his agent may have said in the media that decided was such that they said, hey, you know what? I'm going to allow you to take your chances in the free market if you think you can do better. This is a people business, and I'm often reminded when I think about this conversation of a talk that I had with Reggie McKenzie regarding Hugh Jackson. And I expressed my dismay that two African-American gentlemen could not get along and produce a winner. And Reggie said to me, you have to understand, Zenny, that not everybody can get along with each other. Okay? So you could have these great, grandiose plans. You know, I'm often reminded when Coach Landry of the Dallas Cowboys would say, I gave you a perfect game plan and you blew it. Well, the players have to execute the plan. So when that happens, you've got a problem. And, you know, and so anyway, Rob Iman said, I think a double trade to the Niners would be ironic. I don't see that. If the Niners got Khalil Mack, fine. But it wouldn't hurt the Raiders. They only play them once. They don't play them the year after. What the Raiders should be fearful of is a trade that brings Khalil Mack back into the AFC West. And that's it. The Niners, that's a local thing, whatever. But if the Raiders were to fool around and trade Khalil Mack to a team that didn't really need him but were trying to stockpile draft picks. So it works like this. Let's say they trade him to a team. That team gets him, gives up a draft pick and says, you know what? I can get that draft pick back from this other team. And so guess what? We've got a double trade. So that team, and maybe that team when it trades Khalil Mack has already thought this out. It trades for Khalil Mack. It gives up a pick in the lower round. Then it turns around and does another deal that puts them in a better position with another team that happens to be AFC West and gets them a better draft pick. That could happen. Okay? That could happen. So, Ms. Like I says, the Niners are definitely interested in Khalil Mack. Oh, they should be. Cowboy Rush says, Z, if Mack gets traded, my money is on the Colts. Barry Lee says, my sister and her husband are in Montreal, Canada for anniversary and saw Johnny Manziel play a CFL game. She said he was sacked numerous times. Yeah, I heard about that. And Bob Iman says, Mack would be a good fit in Saleh's scheme. I want to see something since you guys are hot after this idea about Khalil Mack coming to the Raiders. Oh, excuse me, what did I just say? Khalil Mack coming to the Niners. I just want to see what the Twitterverse is saying about that. Hey Barry, could you please retweet my tweet about this? Oh, all I have to do is type KH. Ooh boy, who gets traded first, Aaron Donald or Khalil Mack? That's something. Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack are holdouts, and they have no end in sight. Can you imagine Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack on the same team? Ooh, could you? Let's see what Khalil Mack is saying on Twitter. He's retweeted, oh, sad story about a missing girl that Derek Carr wants us to help find. I have to show this, okay, folks? Her name is Taylor Cusick, all right? She is missing. She's 14 years old. Look, All right. Taylor Cusick, she's missing from San Ramon. She was missing on officially July 3rd. K. Cusick, 14 years old. She's missing from San Ramon. Okay, so keep an eye out for her. Talk it up. Let people know that you've seen it. All right. Um, says motivation. NFL number 52, Pro Football Hall of Fame. Frederick Joseph rest in. Oh, that's about Nia Wilson, the woman that was killed at BART. Sad story. Okay, so my point is, so you see that, all right? Anyway, that's the Khalil Mack noise. Really, okay? And I think he has something else. And I really believe something else. That, something else about this. I only pause because, you know what I hate, folks? I'll tell you what I hate. It's people with little bitty Twitter accounts. You know, they engage you, and okay, look at this. This guy has the whole Vegas issue all wrong, but he gets on Twitter just to, look, how many followers? No, look, he's got, that's it, 14, 15. I've got, okay, he's back in, you know, he bleeds royal blue and California blue. Okay, California yellow. All right, so he's good, whatever. But 1450 followers, I've got 127,000, okay? And I hate it when people just pick at you and use this stuff, and you want to block them when they're wrong. It's like, you know what, dude? You got a little bitty number of Twitter followers. I got a lot. Don't use my Twitter graph, my social graph, to broadcast your freaking message. That just freaking bothers me. I'm like, you know what? Get the fuck, excuse my language, out of here, dude. Yeah, man, oh man, what the heck is this? Why you got to bring all this crap? All right? Now, what I was really trying to find out was what people were saying about Khalil Mack. Not this dude. Oh, do it again, Khalil Mack. Some people say Khalil Mack to the Eagles. The Eagles. That if you type Khalil Mack in Twitter, Khalil Mack Eagles comes up, all right? And it says, my God, that's amazing. What's the rank versus what? Can always scheme your best pass rushers not to get double teamed. New England rarely had great talent in front seven, but they always found a way to get sacks and create turnovers. You can use Khalil Mack as a rover and let him go wherever he wants. It's a good idea. I love this tweet. I love this tweet. This sums up what everybody is thinking, folks. Goes like this. God, I hope John Gruden is dumb enough to trade Khalil Mack. Some of you are saying, all right. Big April says Mack. Big April said Mack will be gone by about game 4. I think team will be the Browns. Wow. Pride and Purpose says prayers go out to that young lady and her family. Yeah, Taylor. Again, I'm going to put it in big letters. Taylor, Taylor, Taylor Cusick, Cusick. That's her name. 14 years old, 5'4", 140 pounds, missing since July 30th. This is now August 7th. That is the lady. Okay, so I don't care what you do. Put it out on Twitter, put it on Facebook, put it on your blog, whatever. I'm gonna do it too. Taylor Cusick, gotta find her, all right? So, okay, moving along. Rob Island thinks Dallas. Big April says Mack will be gone. Pride and Purpose says, I feel Mack gets tagged and paid next year. Cooper may be a casualty next season. Right now we're dealing with this season. Cowboy Wrestler says, well, they do go hand in hand, though, don't they, Pride and Purpose? You have a point. Cowboy Wrestler says the Rams, in my opinion, need a Super Bowl win within the next 2 years so that they can fill those seats in that new stadium at their new place in Inglewood. A lot of money at stake. Yep, there is a ton of money at stake. Meanwhile, the Raiders inch along at a snail's pace in building their stadium, even though nobody wants to say it. Hey, welcome to Zenning 62, all of you. I didn't expect this many people. Nice to have you. the Raiders roster. Do you all want me to reread the roster since you all are here now? And if you say why, just type your response with a Y, which means yes. Yes, this is from a famous painting. Oh, okay. All right. Do you want me to read the depth chart? If I get 60% say Y or 50%, I'll read the chart. Okay. That's one yes. And prayers going out to the wildfires. Yep. Kevin KD, you've been a while. How you doing? Kevin KD says, according to Sports Illustrated, you don't need people filling seats to pay for these mega stadiums. They pay for themselves. Well, that's pretty stupid. It's not that they. Oh God, do we have to quote Spill? No, don't quote me. You want me to answer that? That's stupid. Okay. That's stupid. They don't pay for themselves per se. What pays for them is the bond issue, and the bond issue may not pay for itself either. So that's actually, you know what? Whoever said that ought to be kicked in the ass. That'll be kicked in the ass. That's stupid. Because in the Vegas case, the taxpayer wind up paying for it, and that could cause their general fund to go kaplooey. When I mean kaplooey, I mean into deficit. All right. That's stupid. Okay, so I have a lot of yeses. A lot of yeses here, all right? And Rob Iman says, if the Raiders aren't careful, Las Vegas Stadium could be the next Mariners Park. What happened there? I have to admit my ignorance there. I'll have to look that one up. Kevin KD says, and Fox Sports, who posted an article stating the fans don't need to go to the games for the teams to make money. Well, that's not exactly the case. The fans do need to go to the games for the teams to make money, but the fans not going to the games will not sink the team. Okay? That means so, but to put that out there, to have that put out there is, I think, a dangerous sign. If the NFL is saying, hey, you know what, we sign off on that point of view. Because fans not, let me put it this way. If your fans don't come to the game, they may stop watching. If your fans stop watching, you got an enormous problem. If no one's interested in the game is not just going to pay for itself. So that's the beginning of a negative feedback loop. Fans aren't interested, so they don't come. They don't come, so they watch less. They watch less, so the franchise, the rights fees for the broadcasts are less. The rights fees, the broadcasts are less, the team gets less. So you see how this negative feedback loop works? That's classic system dynamics, and it's not the kind of system dynamics future you want played out, but that's exactly what these guys are unknowingly communicating. All right? So, all right. So all of you said yes, and Cabrera says, but isn't the stadium privately financed? Which stadium? Not which one? Rob Iman says, strong new park that is not drawing people is in Miami. You mean the Hard Rock Stadium? The Hard Rock Stadium is a mix. Ms. Zeikai says, it's been 24 years and the Rams Stadium in St. Louis still has not paid for itself. Well, yeah, but that's because its bond issue actually doesn't go, it goes beyond 24 years. You didn't know that, did you? And so, Big April says, who all thinks Mac will be a Raider the next year? I really don't think they'll be that stupid. I mean, it's a hope that they're not. It's a hope that they're not, all right? It's a hope, okay? So, oh, the one in LA is privately financed, yeah. But again, that's looking at $5 billion, and it's not going to, it's going to be in the red, and that's going to be on Kroenke. Stan's rich enough to sustain that. Mark Davis is not. So, Rob Iman, Kevin KD says to Rob Iman, I've heard that the Marlins want to move to Vegas. And Rob Iman says the baseball stadium in Miami is drawing very little attendance. Yeah, it's baseball just is not hitting it. You gotta have to have a special situation like AT&T Park with a cove and everything. All right, I promised you I would read the depth chart, did I not? So I'm about to read the depth chart. So here we go. Oh, by the way, let's see here. I should put this out here. I'm going to do this. I'm putting right here Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack. Right here. Here it is. All right. Hey, hashtag Raiders, Raider Nation. Khalil Mack. Oops. MAC. Talk live here. Arrow. Then Raiders. Raiders camp there. And then Raiders. Then NFL. Got it. All right. Just said, hey, Raider Nation, Khalil Mack Talk Live here. All right. Now, moving back to your points and questions, I'm going over to the depth chart. All right. Folks, by popular demand, I am going to read to you again the unofficial depth chart, the unofficial depth chart of the Oakland Raiders. Here goes. You ready? All right. Position, wide receiver. Oh, by the way, I'm stopping early tonight. I'm stopping at 12:40, which would be 9:40 in the Pacific. And the reason is due to lack of sleep and the health impacts negative that causes. I gotta write my own personal ship there, folks. Just being honest. All right, depth chart. Wide receiver. Jordy Nelson, first team. Seth Roberts, second team. Third team, Isaac Whitney and Keon Hatcher. Fourth team, or other, Marcel Aitman and Saeed Blackwell. Left tackle, Colton Miller is the starter. David Sharp is second team. Jillian Ware is third team. Donald Penn is the other. Left guard, Kalichi Osemele is the starter. John Feliciano is his backup. Jordan Simmons is third team. There's no fourth. Center, the venerable Rodney Hudson is the starter. James Stone is his backup. Cameron Hunt is third team. Then we have right guard, played by Gabe Jackson. With Ode Abusale is the... Oh, I'm going to get this right. Ode Abusushi. Ode Abusushi is second team. It's a cool name. With third being Denver Kirkland. Right tackle, Brian Giacomini. Brian Giacomini is right tackle. Brandon Parker is second team. Ian Silverman is third team. Okay? And so that Ian Silverman is third team. Tight end is Jared Cook, followed by Lee Smith as backup, then Derek Carrier and Marcus Bow as third string. Farrell Butler and Paul Butler. Farrell Brown and Paul Butler are the fourth string for tight end. Wide receiver, Amari Cooper, starting. Martavius Bryant, his backup. And then Ryan Switzer and Johnny Holton are the third teamers, and then Dwayne Harris and Griff Whalen are the fourth teamers of the other. Quarterback, Derek Carr is the starter. Here is the surprise of the night. Connor Cook has overtaken E.J. Manuel for the second spot. E.J. Manuel is the third quarterback after being the second quarterback, well, since he arrived with the Raiders. Wow. Running back, you'd expect Marshawn Lynch to be the starter. You would be correct. Doug Martin is his backup. Jalen Richard and Chris Warren are the third teamers, and then DeAndre Washington and James Butler are the fourth teamers. Finally, we have at fullback Kevin Smith, and then his backup Ryan Voracek, and then, of course, at defense. Take a swig of water here. Defense is another surprise. Hold on a second. Defense, we have Tank Carradine at defensive end starting, backed up by Fadul Brown, Third team, Frosty Rucker. Defensive tackle, Mario Edwards Jr., followed by P.J. Hall, the rookie. And then Trayvon Hester in third spot. Defensive end, Justin Ellis as the defensive tackle, Justin Ellis as the starter. Maurice Hurst as second. You have to have a feeling that before this preseason is done, that Maurice Hurst is going to go up to first team. And then Atibia Rubin is third, and then Shakir Soto is the other. Defensive end, Bruce Irvin. Then Arden Key second, and then third, Shaquille Calhoun. Wow. Strong linebacker, Emmanuel Lemure is the starter. Kyle Weber is a second teamer. Third teamer is James Cowser. Middle linebacker is Derek Johnson, followed by Markel Lee. And then third teamer is Jason Kambinda, Weak linebacker, that's Tahir Whitehead is the starter. Nicholas Moreau is second team. Azim Victor is third team. And then cornerback, we have Rashad Melvin, the starter, with Leon Hall as his backup. And then Sharice White and Tevin Mitchell, the third teamers. And then Antonio Hamilton and Rayson Pringle are the others. And other cornerback is Garion Conley as a starter. Darryl Worley is his backup, followed by Nick Nelson as the third teamer, and then the other is Dexter McDonald. Safety, we have Marcus Gilchrist at one safety spot, backed up by Reggie Nelson, and then Shalom Luani, and then Darlin Levitt, and then we have the other safety spot, which is more commonly the strong safety spot, but in this case, free safety spot, but in this case, they don't list it that way, but Carl Joseph, can play some good free. Carl Joseph is the starter. Eric Harris is his backup, and then Obi Melifonwu is third string. Wow. And I think he was penciled in a starter. This is interesting because I would have had Carl Joseph as, I thought Carl Joseph was more the strong safety. Along with, so I think I read that wrong. So Marcus Gilchrist would be the free, and Reggie Nelson. Carl Joseph would be the strong safety. Eric Harris is his backup, and then Obi Melifonwu is got all-pro strong safety written all over him if he can ever get in there. I know he's had some injuries and everything. Maybe he's just not picking up the system. Got to dig and find out. Special teams, punters Johnny Townsend. Kicker, Eddie Pinero, backed up by Mike Nugent. And then we have Johnny Townsend once again. And then we have left safety. We have Andrew DePaula and Drew Scott. And then as the punt returner, we have Dwayne Harris, Ryan Switzer, Griff Whalen on the third team. And then other is Nick Nelson, and that group is repeated, okay? That's repeated. So there rounds out your Oakland Raiders. There round out your Oakland Raiders for 2018 for this week. Okay, for this week, all right? So what do you think about what you've heard thus far? What do you think about what you've heard thus far, okay? Just out of curiosity. And going back to your comments, working backward, unknown Raider guy says, Kevin KD, actually, I'm from South Sacramento, live in Vegas now. I'm for Raiders wherever they go. Don't have a problem with pro Oakland people. Whatever. What about the roster? Okay. Scott. Don't talk to me about Vegas, Scott. Talk to me about the roster. All right? I mean, I don't mind that you talk about Vegas, Scott. I'm just saying. Be a Raider fan, man. Okay? Cowboy Wrestler says, Peter Thompson, sure. I'm just shocked that Mark talked to an official from the state level. What is this? Yep, Dwayne Harris is on the roster. Joseph is Beach. Kevin KD says, John O'Connell, I think the Vegas team is already complete. Laugh out loud. Just finished it up last night. Cowboy Wrestler says to Kevin KD, who's Lady Gaga? What? Ms. Zeitgeist says the NHL favorites for 2019 are Lightning and the Maple Leafs. John Akala says, no, stadium won't be ready in 220, and he's right. Oh, no, Raider guy says, John Akala, okay, keep thinking that. Well, why not, you know? You tell me why the stadium is going to be open in 2020. I mean, I want to hear this. I want technically for you to tell me. Don't tell me because they said so. I want you, Unknown Raider guy, to tell me why you think that's going to happen. Don't bring me this BS like, well, I read it somewhere. All right? Because I want you to explain to me where they are with the parking situation. I want you to explain to me where they are with the monorail funding problem. I want you to explain to me where they are with respect to the fact that they don't have their entire workforce out there. I want you to explain to me that they're not being coy, they're rather being coy about the whole issue of cost overruns in the tariff. Saying one thing out of one side of the mouth and then another out of the other side of the mouth, and then explain to me this of overall, why is it that we originally had the stadium being complete in June of 2020. Actually, for a time, I think it was May 31st, 2020. Then that was moved very quietly to June, and then June was very quietly moved to July 31st. And now the word is that by July 31st, there will be substantial completion. Substantial completion, whatever the hell that means. And no one asks. They just parrot it. Substantial completion. Substantial completion. Substantial completion. Give me a break. I mean, can you imagine this parrot just sitting there, kind of like Captain Morgan, like, I should get a parrot, you know, a toy parrot, and then just like have it rigged so it says, substantial completion. Substantial completion, because that's what the media does there. Substantial completion. Okay, come on. Jeez Louise. You know? Who said that? Peter Thompson said the monorail's fully funded and go. Bullshit. Peter Thompson, you need to look that one up. Oh my God. Kevin KD says, Cowboy Wrestler, the sad thing is Nevada has a lot of the same problems as California, except the state tax. Nevada education housing is simply awful. Hey, G. Taylor, how you doing? J. Boogie 510 says, it's a shame that the Raiders don't have enough liquid cash to give Khalil Mack a viable signing bonus. And they don't have enough liquid cash to do it because they were fucking around in Vegas with it. Gave some of it to Gruden. Gruden ought to take some of that cash and pay for him himself. If John Gruden wants a powerful Raider roster, you know what? That would make a great blog post. If John Gruden wants a great Raider roster, he needs to pay for Khalil Mack himself. Word, okay? Word. All right? Word. Rob Iman says, John, government should not give owners blank checks to build stadiums. Kevin Katie says the days are made around a number. Nah. Okay, what next here? Going down. I'm going the wrong way with your comments. And it's, okay, now I've got, all right. Rob Iman says, I'm counting down the days until Mark Davis is bankrupt. Of course, to sell the Raiders. Kevin KD says, maybe Mark Davis can coax Sean Merriman out of retirement. Ms. Zeitgeist says, didn't Gruden say he would take a pay cut if they don't do well? I think he said he wouldn't take any pay at all. Raider 24 says, if stadium not done, you think we'll play in San Diego for a season? No, we'll play in Oakland. Dex M says, who do you think will win the AFC West and who will finish second, third, and fourth? All right, right now, I don't like to make these predictions until after I've seen the players play, right? Preseason. And I don't make those predictions until after the third game of preseason. So you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns. That said, I'm going to stick to my guns. I don't have a feel for it. I have to see how each team looks before I'm ready to go there. Okay? Raider 24 says, I got that one. Kevin KD says, isn't Nevada ranked near the bottom when it comes to education? I think they're actually rock bottom. Kevin KD says, maybe Khalil should go to the G-Men. I wonder what would happen if I went and I typed Khalil Mack. Let me see here. Khalil Mack. Wait a minute. Khalil Mack. AFC West. Trade. I'm just, you know, typing in things. Let's see here. Oakland Raiders will be crazy to trade Khalil Mack. Forbes thinks that they should trade him. Someone at Forbes is writing this. If you type Khalil Mack, AFC West trade, look who you find in videos first. If you type Khalil Mack, AFC West trade, bam, me. Followed by some nothings. Me. Okay. All right, now back to what we're talking about here. I'm trying to find out if anyone has led its multiple NFL source analysts believe the Raiders are trading Khalil Mack as a possibility. I think that may be bluffing. Okay, I do think that they may be bluffing the Raiders. Okay. 24/7 Sports lists 10 potential landing spots for Khalil Mack. Here they are. 10 potential landing spots for Khalil Mack. They are Chicago Bears. Who else? Get rid of this. It's one. Okay, Chicago Bears is one. Sorry, the delay was I was trying to get rid of one of those video screens. Whatever. All right, Chicago Bears, New England number 1, New England Patriots number 2. At least slide number 2, right? And then, boy, Khalil Mack with the Patriots. Woo. And then, who else? The Dallas Cowboys number 3. Another possibility. These pages do not scroll, do they? Hold on a second. Dallas Cowboys number 3. Dang. All right. Then we have the Detroit Lions number 4. Which actually are in training camp with the Raiders as I speak, or as I speak to you. Sorry for the delay, folks. Let me show you what's happening, okay? All right, this is what's going on. This is the page, right? If I click on this, you see it's supposed to scroll down, but watch what happens. Okay, now it doesn't. It's on display. Okay, keep going. But see that it stops. See how it gums up, right? Then it, okay. All right. Green Bay Packers. Then Seattle Seahawks. Okay. See, I'm clicking this and it's not moving. See my finger? It's not moving. Now it moves. See that? See how temperamental it is? Okay. Come on, move. The Carolina Panthers, 7 of 10. So no, they don't believe that any AFC West team is going to try to get them. And then we've got the Redskins. And finally, who? This is not. I'm banging on. It's like, come on, move. Dang it, move. It's just stuck there. Look at that. Ugh. See, this won't work. Yeah, that sometimes works. And then finally, the Atlanta Falcons. So there you go. Okay, it took a long time to get to the 10, but it listed them. They could have just had a list and scrolled down, but when you have let me tell you something. Those of you who are developing web and blog sites, all right, and you're maybe a first time out or rookie or whatever, don't do that. Do not Do not make a page that takes a long time to scroll and load. It will screw with the visibility of the page, all right, of your site and search. All right, now. Hey, Sean Grogan, how you doing? Sean, you're late because I was going to stop at 12:45. Raider Matt says, "Oh, thanks for letting me know, man. I'm here a little late." Yeah, sorry about that, but I'll be back. In fact, I'm thinking of doing a special show tomorrow, where instead of this format, I have people I call. We do it that way. I'll do that. Maybe tomorrow's too soon. I'll figure out something. Now, Richard Lucero, haven't seen you in a long time. Also going back to investors, for that great cup of coffee, just so that we can have some more churn and swag and everything else I can then use to give away, right? Richard Lucero says, after the first preseason game, Khalil Mack will be back in uniform, silver and black, where he belongs. I hope so. I hope so. All right, so let me see what's going on here in the remaining time I have left. You know what, though? It's 12:37. I'll save that for tomorrow for a special cast, because I really do need to concentrate on getting some sleep. That's the main thing, all right? And also fixing some issues on one blog, other blog, all right? All right, so I better stop, yeah. All right, folks, I will see you tomorrow. This has been a great discussion, but I need to stick to plan. And before I go to bed, I've got to make a server change, all right? Blue bottle? What are you talking about? This? No, this is not Blue Bottle. This is Nestle Pure Life bottle. And Unknown Raider Live says what? He says Kevin KD, Oakland is more crime. Then what? You better look at your stats, man. Come on, Scott. You look at your stats. Oakland has more crime. Look at your stats. Oh, man. Look at your stats. Look at your stats. All right. Okay, folks, I am gone. Good night, everybody. See ya.